Good morning. When I was growing up, it was a world of goodies and baddies, superheroes, Batman and Robin, Superman, who defied the evil ones in their cities and destroyed them, beat them, or brought them to justice. Justice was about defeating evil. And I grew up in that world, and I think it was a binary world, which still exists in much of it, where there's good and evil, right and wrong, in and out, us and them. We break people into who's with us and who's not, who's good and who's bad. We maintain that binary distinction too often. And yet the reality is we've all got light and darkness within us, the potential for good and evil. I like reading novels. There's a whole pile of novels here that I've read and maybe reread. Stories of people, and I really like novels with a strong, developed character that's real, because real characters have that mixture, that paradox. People like Harry Bosch in the Michael Connolly series, where his motto is, everyone counts or no one counts. And he's capable of this greatest good, seeking out justice for the least and the lowest, equally with justice for those who are well known or well off. But he's also capable of hurting people, his daughter, his partners, his ex-wife, his colleagues. He can be the most wonderful and the most frustratingly difficult person. He's capable of darkness and light. And in all these stories with good characters, all of them have their flaws. The qualities of the demons within them. Some it's the trauma or abuse of childhood. Some it's the hiddenness of addictions that take over their lives. It's fear, it's pain, it's ego, it's pride, it's all sorts of things that get in the way of them being truly good people all the time. And as I read these stories, I recognise myself. That I have this capacity for good and evil. I can do really, really good things. I can be really caring and loving and kind and just and all of that. But I can also tick people off, hurt them, say things that are mean and horrible, either to their face or behind their back. I can ignore injustice and pretend it's not there. I'm capable of the good and the evil. That's the reality. And I think this week there's a story that Matthew tells of a farmer who plants wheat in his field, and his servants look after it. And one day they come in and, Master, someone through the night has planted weeds in your field. Do you want us to go and pull the weeds out? Apparently the weeds are something called darnel, which is a wheat-like weed. It looks like wheat. It's sometimes indistinguishable until they're mature. The wheat, the pods have, the heads have seed and they hang down and droop. They're heavy. The darnel are empty, airheads they're called, and they float. And so you can easily pick them away. If you eat too much darnel, it can make you sick, apparently. So the master says, don't pull it out now, wait until it's time for harvest, and you'll know what the weeds are and you pull them out and they'll be burned. And it's easy to take this story, as I think it often has been, where in this field of human life, there are good and there are bad. There are weeds and wheat, good people and bad people. And the bad will be judged and punished, and the good will be blessed. And there's some truth in that in our world there is good and evil, and there are people who who are responsible for some of the most profound and gross evil. And that should be dealt with well for the sake and well-being of all people. But the truth is also that in the field of our lives, we are weed and weeds. Within me there is wheat and weeds. And the wheat will reveal itself in the good I do, in love and justice and hope and peace. In the good things I do, the wheat will be revealed. And we need this light of grace, of God's grace, of the love of other people, to shine into our lives and to expose the darkness, the weeds, for what they are. And it takes a lot of courage and strength to accept that not everything about me is good. That I need to learn things, that I need forgiveness, that I need to change my ways because some of what I stand for or do is not loving and kind and just and hopeful, but quite the opposite. And it's this light of God that shines into life and exposes the darkness, reveals the weeds for what they are, and allows the wheat to grow, and gently takes the weeds to allow the harvest of wheat to happen. And it's all about reconciliation and forgiveness. We've been watching some of the Ted Lasso series again. And there's this wonderful scene right near the end. Nathan Shelley, who's been an assistant coach at Richmond FC, and then through pride and arrogance and whatever else and hurt feelings, goes off to another team. But it doesn't work out well. I mean, he's a good coach and he does that well, but the owner is not. He leaves. But somewhere in there, he's tried to sabotage things in the Richmond headquarters. And he's been in there, he's done some destructive stuff. And Ted Lasso, the coach, and Coach Beard see this on a security footage, and they watch it, and Ted laughs because poor old Nathan goes and breaks in, and he's about to do things, and they all start to come in, and he has to hide under the desk. And he's hiding there for a couple of hours while they're all in there celebrating and doing whatever they're doing. And then just as he gets out to go, the cleaning staff come, and he's caught for another couple of hours. And he comes out and he wobbles and his legs are jelly. And by then the door's locked and he's got to somehow climb out the window. And Ted just laughs. And he says, you know, Coach Beard, I hope that either of us or all of us are not judged by the actions in our weakest moments, but by the strength we show when and if we're given a second chance. And he goes out singing a song. And Coach Beard is confronted because he's really angry with Nathan. He really is angry with him. And he's challenged. And he goes around to Nathan's place. And Nathan hears a ring at the door and sees this shadow through the glass and recognises. And he opens the door and Coach Beard is looking very serious and stern. And Nathan, who's much shorter, is tense. And Coach Beard launches into a story. Ted and I went to college together. He was a backup punter and I was a backup kicker. We never got into a game, but we practiced a lot. We did lots of runs and drills and box jumps together. We talked a lot. At the end of college, he was dating Michelle and went off and got married and went into coaching. I went into prison. And Nathan's gone. When I got out of prison, I had no one. No one wanted to know me. My family, friends, no one. I had no job, no money. I was desperate. I looked up Ted and turned to him and he took me in. Gave me a bed, fed me, cared for me. You know what I did in return? I stole his car. He was driving off. I got caught, I didn't get far. And I would have gone back to prison, except Ted came down there and talked the police out of it, convinced them that he'd given me the car. No, this is a bit like Les Mis. He said, yes, it's a lot like Les Mis. He took me in again and he gave me a job and gave me a go at life. So Nathan, I forgive you. And I want to offer you a job. It's up to you. You take it or not. And Nathan is shocked, feeling guilty, profoundly guilty as he is for what he's done. And he says, thank you, Coach. Maybe we'd both feel better if you headbutted me. So Coach turns his hat slowly around, takes Nathan by the head, leans down, gently touches his head. Nathan hugs him, says, thank you. Coach Beard says, 10 o'clock Monday, it's up to you. I hope that either of us or all of us are not judged by our actions in our weakest moments, by the strength we show when and if we're given a second chance. I think that's what Jesus is trying to say in some ways in this story and many of his stories. Don't pull the weeds out. Expose them to the light of day, and they'll be revealed for what they are. Open your eyes and listen and hear. I give you a second chance. The chance to be wheat, to flourish and bear fruit. The fruit of love and justice and hope and peace, of generosity and community and inclusion, and to be my people, to live in this way. I think we all have this good and evil in us. Are we willing to be honest enough to allow the light in, to expose our faults, our flaws, our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities, to take the chance to grow, to take a second chance and show strength to become who we can be in this deep and profound love of God?